Hi, my name is David Gawley, BIM Consultancy Director for Pentagon Solutions. In this video, we're going to take a look at Meridian Explorer and integrating GIS, asset information, and data records. Everything you're going to see here is in the iPad interface. So we're starting off in the iPad and we're in Google Maps, and we've aggregated asset information. This could have come from a CSV file, an Excel file, or even CAD. So not only does it have the location, latitude, and longitude about the actual site, it has an asset property card behind it. Again, this could be another GIS technology or another system being used. So it's got rich information behind it that we can actually click on various links. This is taking us to the A360, it could be BIM 360 or another system. These are our offices in Belfast. So it gives us information about the model that we could measure or mark up in there. But there's much more data that we need to access behind that. And we're going to have a look at a site in Mollusk, and it's going to take us to this simple kiosk. So we normally have a lot of data at handover from an asset perspective, and we need to actually make sure that's tied into the individual asset. So I'm going to actually click on one of these security links, and what's actually happened is all the data is actually being synchronized to this through a link specific to that asset. So if I have a look at the property information in here, you can see that I can click on one of the links and it'll take me to the Cello Explorer client. So essentially what's happening here is that we have a whole host of data that could be from the cloud or could be on-premise from Meridian that pushes the appropriate asset data out to the Explorer client. This means the person in the field gets the information they need, not thousands of documents to wade through. So we've got a simple image in here, we've got a PDF specification behind the actual asset, the streetlight, and we've also got the drawing. So it filters out all the data, and we've got this linked back into the asset information. So you can see the specification in here or the product guide. Again, we can go back out, we can have a look at the last photograph of this. And again, we can then have a look at the actual drawing. So it's the image file. We can go back out and have a look at the drawing. So the person on the field can actually mark this up. So if we click within the drawing, which is a simple schematic in here, we can look at the schematic information and see any past markups. So we've got a note in here that the east panel, the lock and the MCB is actually broken. We might want to add in some other information about this. So we're going to do a quick red line, put a comment in against this. And again, that'll get synchronized back either into the cloud environment or could be synchronized back to the on-premise environment as well as part of the process. So we're going to put a quick note on this, and all this will get captured as part of the audit trail based on the user that's actually logged in and has permission to the system. So all the data gets captured. We can take an actual photograph. So again, that will get captured in the log as well. And then we can save this information and push it back out. So once that's pushed back out, we can go back into and have a look at our model again. And we're going to have a look at some additional asset information and links that we can actually do. So back in our kiosk model in here, if we wanted to aggregate this with wider geospatial information, this is just a simple link that's actually taken us out into an InfoWorks model that's been published. So you might want to provide some wider geospatial context to the actual asset that you're having a look at. And again, you can interrogate the information as part of this. You don't need to only just look at documentation behind it. But we can also integrate this with other geospatial systems. This is using Esri Explorer. Again, you can see it's a very similar interface. We're not using Google Maps this time. We're actually through Explorer. We can interrogate the asset information. We can look at the information, or we can put new points on as well as part of that. But what we're going to do is go through the same process as last time, actually click on one of the links, and it'll take us into the A360 environment, or it could be BIM 360 or any other system, and take us back into the asset. So it's the key assets actually driving it. It's the tag that's driving this information in here that makes sure that we got linked back to the correct documentation. But this is all pushed out through user desktop level. So again, very similar principle in Revit interface, many of you will be familiar with. So we can actually push that data out and you're taking you into the same link. So this information is actually being synchronized all along the way, so make sure that you get the correct information to the person on the field. Well, thanks very much for your time. I would say please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and do connect to us within LinkedIn, Facebook and Twitter.